What is up, YouTube? It's me, John Avenger, once again, and I'm going to do two reviews tonight. My first one is a 2003 superhero film that gets a lot of ridicule, and this is the director's cut of it. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this on my channel. I'm finally reviewing it because I saw the director's cut a long time ago, and I haven't reviewed this cut of the film, so I'm going to review it. And it's Ben Affleck's first turn in a superhero film before he was Batman, the Daredevil director's cut. Yeah, this was a lot better cut than the theatrical cut that I saw back in 2003 because the film feels more full. Let me explain. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes. That's a much longer cut than the hour and something minutes version of the theatrical cut. I think the theatrical cut was like an hour and 47 minutes, and there's a lot of filler. And also, there's a sex scene, which thankfully in this cut, it's cut out. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine because Elektra and Daredevil didn't need to have sex. You know, her and whatchamacallit, Matt Murdock, they didn't need to have sex to prove that they love each other. I mean, they could have done that at the end of the film or in the sequel if they had done a sequel to this. But like I said, this cut is much better. There's more violence. It feels more R-rated, which is much better. The film should have been R from the beginning. It still has some shoddy CGI, but that's, it was 2003 CGI. I think this looks hell of a lot better than the Hulk from 2003, which was garbage. But they had more action to the movie. The movie is much more bloodier. There's more backstory with him as a lawyer, and there's a scene with him and his father when he's younger. When he's a kid, they develop that more. They add to the film. That's what a director's cut is supposed to do. You don't do a director's cut of a movie that's like 2 minutes longer, and that's not a director's cut. You have to have a completely different version of the film that adds to the overall experience, and this does it. And it feels more complete. And yes, Elektra still dies at the end, and Bullseye still doesn't get killed, and also there's a sequel bait ending, but it doesn't pay off because there is no sequel. There's just a spinoff with Elektra, which a lot of people hated, and I haven't seen it yet. But the R-rated cut is good. I like the things that they added. I hadn't seen the theatrical cut in a long time. I'm glad. I'm like, where's the sex scene? Oh, they cut it out. Good, thank you. Mark Steven Johnson, because I don't think a sex scene is needed in a superhero film. It didn't work in Iron Man. They had to put that out, and they put a sex scene, and then they didn't do it in the other sequels. But this is a really good cut of the film. And I'm going to, just like I enjoyed this director's cut, I'm also going to watch the extended cut version of Batman vs. Superman. Because guess what, people? I didn't hate it. I had a lot of problems with it, but I didn't hate it. And you haters, I'm going to get to you in December when you see that movie. Believe me, it's going to be in my top 10, and you won't even see it coming. I don't know what number it will be. But anyway, this is not about Batman vs. Superman. This is about Daredevil. I like this film. I think it's underrated. The director's cut is a lot better than the theatrical cut. And I don't even hate the theatrical cut, but this is a lot more the movie that I wanted. And I'm going to see the Daredevil TV show with Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I prefer Ben Affleck as an actor because he's American, and Charlie Cox is some Brit. But, I'm still going to give the show a chance. I know a lot of people have recommended it. It's a great Netflix show. I saw the pilot. Awesome freaking pilot. A lot of blood and adult language and no sex scenes. Just it's a hard R show if the show was rated uh, as a movie. But this movie is awesome. I still like the action. Ben Affleck does a good job. I don't know why people say he was phoning it in. He did the best he could with what was given to him. I have seen worse films than this that came before and after this. Before this, you had a shitty freaking Batman and Robin. You had freaking Superman 4. You had Steel. You had the freaking Avengers, which, no, not the Marvel Avengers. I'm saying that there was an Avengers British TV show that was kind of like, it wasn't a superhero film, but it was in that vein. And it was a flop, and it was garbage. There are worse superhero movies than this that came out before. After this, you had The Hulk, which was a piece of shit. It was boring, and I was forgettable. An extended cut of that would not have saved that. You had Catwoman, which is considered one of the worst superhero films starring a girl. And that's not being sexist, it's just, it is. It's bad. Man of Steel. I'd rather watch this than Man of Steel. Even with the extended cut, it's still shorter than Man of Steel. It doesn't have disaster porn. Daredevil doesn't destroy an entire city. The villain is a lot better. I like Michael Clark Duncan as the Kingpin. He's the good villain. Bullseye, I could take him or leave him. Because Colin Farrell's accent just takes me out. I laugh my ass off when I hear that accent. It's like, you're the man without fair. I'm like, fair? It's fear, not fair. I mean, some people talk so weird in movies. I just don't understand it. Liam Neeson is Irish, but he doesn't sound like a leprechaun. Colin Farrell does. That's why he's not on the cover of this, and I'm glad. He should have died at the end. In my opinion, Bullseye should have been killed off in this movie and not Elektra. They should have just left her, like disappear, not let her kill her off. That was stupid. All that build up for her to have a fight with Bullseye and she gets her ass killed. That makes no sense. That's like if Black Widow has a fight with Thanos in Infinity War, and she gets her ass kicked, and they kill her off like in 5 seconds. That would make no sense. It would be completely pointless. But this movie's good. I know it's flawed. The shoddy CGI and Bullseye's not the best villain, and you know the love story is It's not really that. The real love story worked because Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner had some beautiful children together. They were married. I don't know if they're still married together, but they procreated. That was good for them as actors. I like those two together on and off the screen. But I prefer the love story in Deadpool. That is so much better. And that movie didn't need an extended cut. But this is a good movie on its own right. For 13 years ago, there were worse movies than this in the past and after this, and even recently. Fan Four Stick is much worse than this. I would take this and the theatrical cut of this over Fan Four Stick because that was horrible. A director's cut could not save how boring that movie was. At least this one's competent. So that's my review of the Daredevil director's cut. It's a better cut. I like it much better than the theatrical cut, and it deserves to be on DVD and Blu-ray because I waited a while to see it, and it was worth it. And I got it for like $3. Not a bad deal. Anyway, it's a decent movie. It's underrated. I really think that Daredevil gets just too much crap, and there are much worse movies that came out. Even recently, they're just superhero films that I have no interest in uh, that are going to come out in the future. I don't know. I don't want to see a Man of Steel sequel. Shazam, whatever. I'd rather see Daredevil make another film appearance, even though it's not going to be Ben Affleck because he's Batman. But Charlie Cox is Daredevil. Maybe we'll see. But anyway, it's underrated, and I do like this film. I think the director's cut improves on it, and it works wonderfully. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to do another review right after this. It'll be something from before 2003. And thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching my other videos, my rants, my reviews, my raves. I'm doing this all for you guys because without you guys, I'm just a guy on YouTube talking. I'm just a guy talking to a camera for like 5 to 10 minutes about nothing. But you guys made me who I am. I'm not gonna just say, "Oh, I'm high and mighty and I'm the best YouTuber that speak rebel that speaks on YouTube." No, I'm who I am because I had to build this channel from the bottom up, and you guys made it happen by subscribing and watching, and I thank you for that. Thanks a million. Anyway, enough of that. I'll see you in the next review.